Well, the high of beating Toledo has worn off. Bowling Green falls to Central Michigan over the weekend. And John Gibson, we were both there. I was on the sidelines, and the thing that stuck out to me the most, no one was tackling. Where is this Brian Van Gorder defense that completely stifled the Rockets the week before?
Well, I think you see that they were playing off of emotion. You saw that this was a team that understood the levity of that game and wanted to end that streak for various different reasons, and they were able to play above their heads. And I don't even want to say they were able to play above their heads. They were able to play at a level that they can't easily reach. They played at a level that they weren't easily able to reach, and they weren't able to reach it there. You didn't see the defensive line shooting the gaps. That's a very good Central Michigan offensive line. Now, let's make no mistakes about it. This is a team that's averaging about 250 yards rushing per game. They're one of the top 15 teams in rushing yards per game. So this is a team that they handle the business when it comes to blocking for those running backs, and those running backs are dynamic players. Both of them went over 120 yards. I mean, Central Michigan right now is just a better football team.
Let's talk about the injuries. It just seemed like one after the other. The trainers were walking players off the field. Davon Jones, running back, the number one running back since Andrew Clare has not seen the field. He goes down. He's questionable now. Carl Brooks on the defensive side, he goes down. And those are both questionable, but how big are the voids there now for this Bowling Green team?
Well, they're huge. I mean, football is a dangerous game. It's a violent game. And the problem is with these particular injuries, is especially at the running back position, we don't have the depth. I mean, you look at this Bowling Green team, I mean, let's be real here. They're down 17 scholarships. Wow. That's a tremendous number of scholarships for a team to be down and still trying to compete in Division I football. It's going to take 2 cycles just to replace all of the guys that aren't there anymore. And that's just the transfer portal, and as well as, some guys that just did not make it from previous regimes. So Coach Leffler is going to have a chance going forward to really build this team in his image. But this is where Bowling Green football is right now. It's understaffed, it's undermanned. You're looking at Trayvon Raymore, he's a walk-on freshman that's going to be playing. He's probably going to see some time next week.
Absolutely.
That's where you are.
And in the post-game press conference, Scott Leffler alluded to the recruiting they need to do. And it's weird hearing a coach talk about the recruiting that team needs to do in the middle of a season. But that's what it's come down to.
It's just real. I think that's one thing that I've appreciated about Coach Leffler. He's very honest in a very Urban Meyer kind of way. He tells you like it is, maybe not raw and uncut, but definitely honest and real. And that's flat what it is. This team, you figure they're only allowed to give 25 scholarships. I'm not quite sure how many seniors are on the team right now, but they're not going to be able to be up to the full allotment of 85 scholarships next year because of scholarship limits. And because of that, it's going to require these guys, it's going to require a Herculean recruiting effort. But again, it's also going to doom us to another mediocre season at best, because you're still going to be indoctrinating young guys. All of your depth is going to be freshmen, sophomores. This is a long-term rebuild, restocking for Bowling Green. It's not the quick fix that we saw, with Urban Meyer, or even the quick turnaround we saw with Dave Clawson, where, this is more like Dave Clawson year 2 than it was Dave Clawson year 1.
Yeah, wow. And now up on the clock, Western Michigan. They already came to Toledo. They were a great team. Toledo managed to sneak by. What did they present challenge-wise for the Falcons?
They're a good football team, and Bowling Green always struggles playing up there at Waldo Stadium. I had my only fumble of my career at Waldo Stadium. My only fumble of my career. One fumble my whole career.
Wow.
It was a first-round draft pick that got me, Jason Babin. But
okay, that's fine then.
It's tough to play up there. They have a really nice stadium. The crowd really gets after it. It gets loud in that place. And they're a solid football team. They're not spectacular. Right now, they're looking to make their move in the MAC West. The MAC West right now is controlled by Ball State. Who would have thought that? Yeah, I really expected Toledo to be the team to come out of the MAC West, but it looks like if Ball State continues playing the way that they have, they're probably going to come out. But Western Michigan figures to play into that. They're just a game out of first place right now.
Yeah. And let's kind of look forward. I know no coaches want to do that, but winnable games, are there any left for Bowling Green?
I think Akron. Akron's probably winnable. I would say you could probably look at winning maybe the Buffalo game. Just depends on how the young guys travel. This, for a lot of these young men, it's going to be their first Thanksgiving away from home.
Absolutely.
And that's a big thing. So it depends on how they travel. Guys like Konowalski, you know, the older guys, they're not going to, Brandon Purse, this may be the last time they put on a helmet. So this is not going to be a time where they're going to slack, but is it going to mean the same to all the guys? You would hope so. And I think that those that are going to be coming back, they know they're being evaluated. But it depends on which team shows up. And I think that's going to be, that's the mark of a youthful team. You never know which team is going to show up. We had no predictors to believe that the team that showed up last week against Toledo was going to show up. And we had no predictors to believe what was going to show up against Central Michigan did. And that's just, that's youth and that's inexperience, and that's just the way that it is right now.
Yeah, my gosh. Okay, score prediction. Western Michigan on the road. You said it's hard to play there.
Yeah, it's hard to play there. I'm going to say, again, depends on which defense shows up. If last week's defense shows up, I'm thinking 42-24. Western Michigan. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it pains me to come on here week after week and select not select Bowling Green. It would be a lot easier.
But you have a couple times, and that's what matters.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm a realist also.
Yeah.
I understand what's real and what's not real. This Bowling Green team is not the one that's over the moon. This isn't the 04 team. This isn't. This is simply a team that is still trying to find their way, and we have to be real about that.
And I think people appreciate the realness.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I hope so.
Like,
I hope so.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
hope so.
Coach Loeffler says 3 years.
Well, and I mean, let's be real. I'm sure that he sat down in his interview with Bob Moosberger and the president, Rodney Rogers, and he said, looking at what you have, this is what I think is going to happen. And they can't sell that to the crowd when he at the.
There were a bunch of dads standing behind me at Central Michigan. I'm like, please go away, Dad.
I mean, what you can't do is you can't sell that to the fan base at the introductory conference. However, that's just real. When you look at where this program is, when you look at the fact that this program had 3 official head coaches in a 3-year span, when you look at that's sadly, that's the cost of doing business and being successful in a Group of 5 conference. Coach Loeffler, where he is right now, he probably won't be able to leave for about 3 to 4 years. But understand that when he gets this program back to where it is, because I do believe in him, when he gets the program back to where it belongs, he's gone. And then we got to find another guy. And that's real. Yeah, that's just the reality of MAC football. It is the cradle of coaches, but understand none of them stay. I'm wondering at what point in time is the MAC going to do what Central Michigan has done and what Ohio has done for the past decade and get a coach that has been to the top, been to the big jobs, the Nebraskas, the Floridas, and say, okay, I'm on the downside of my career, but I can have longevity here and stay in football. I think that's probably going to be a model that you'll see more teams taking as you keep having to replace coaches, because you can't keep rolling the dice and avoiding snake eyes.
Yeah, I agree. And I like that point you just brought up. All right, John Gibson, always keeping things real.
Keep it real.
I appreciate it. All right, I'm Dannie Rogers. Mark, let's send it back to you.